What's up, everybody? This is Talkin All That Kazz, and I am DJ Kazzeo. I want to thank you for checking out this particular episode of Talkin All That Kazz. On this particular episode, I got another great interview that I conducted here on my radio show at 90.9 FM, KHCC in Salinas, California. But before we get going with that, I want you to go to this address, djkazzeo.com, and connect with me on social media. Whether it's on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my Twitter, or even if you go and subscribe to my Mixcloud channel, you can hear all my radio shows that I do in their entirety, music, commentary, and interviews. But this right here, Talkin All That Kazz, this is for just the interviews, okay? I want to thank everybody who checked out the first round of interviews that I put up. Now we're on to the second round. This particular round, I'm going to focus on 2019, but I'm going to sprinkle it in with some more current stuff too. So you never know what you're going to get. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy another edition of Talkin All That Kazz with me, DJ Kazzeo.
What up? This your boy Scrooge Owens, Mean Mugger Entertainment. This the Wednesday Rec with DJ Kazzeo on KHDC. Mugger, let's get it.
I've been up and I've been down. But through it all, my truest friends are still around. I've been rich and I've been poor, but I learned in life there's so much more.
Tears running down my cheek, I lost all my voice. I'm like, how could y'all forget me? I thought y'all was with me. See, when you're up, everybody down, but the moment you fall, ain't nobody around. Guess the loyalty there until the money gone. Hate to leave you so weak when your love is strong. Real talk in the struggle, that's how I was raised. No food in the crib, mom gone for days. I'm having dreams of my better living lavish, but once I walked out the crib, all I saw was addicts. Fat cubs got me wishing I was home. Probably won't see my son till he damn near grown. Now you got a stepfather as a father figure. I'ma be there for my son as with a father figure. But there's a larger picture, can't stop and give up. I will start to go harder when the odds to get your real talk.
I've been up and I've been down, but through it all, my truest friends are still around. I've been rich and I've been poor, but I learned in life there's so much more. We gon' make it, 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 we gon' make it.
Hey yo, we body speaking from a basic track, but listen, we ain't basic, so face it, black. You're thinking that it's whack when it comes to the bars. I'm a beast from the east, still reach for the stars. Look, homie, you ain't trying to go nowhere. Well, I won't give you that look, and I'm gonna stay right there. Yeah, you wasn't with the team. I'm the kid that had the dream to get the cream. I'm a microphone fiend. I give these clowns the VR. Modern day Marvin Gaye, the Godfather's here. I'm from Linden in the band, I run a Rockaway twins. State Master bring the whip. When JT spins me, and that should be bananas. He the best. Shout outs to Dollar Bill, rough hands, may they rest. Up the government in peace. Kids still the beast, made my name in the streets. Go Scrooge, let's eat, man.
I've been up and I've been down, but through it all, my truest friends are still around. I've been rich and I've been poor, but I learned in life there's so much more. We gon' make it, 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 we gon' make it,
All right. Coming back right here. It's 90.9 FM KHDC. Yours truly, Kazzeo. Right now, I'm joined by a very special guest, up-and-coming New York MC. He goes by the name of Scrooge Owens. What's up, homie?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Feeling good today. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the radio. Shout out to you for having us up there. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it.
No doubt, man. We just came out of We Gonna Make It, the song with Mr. Cheeks. You gotta tell me all about that, man. How'd that all come about?
Oh, man, well, you know, I've known Cheeks for a while, and we was always saying that we was going to do a record together. So he was like, yo, Scrooge, you said when we going to do a record, I said, yo, when the time is right, I want to make sure everything is right, that when I do the record with him. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want to just do anything. This is not, you know, this is a Grammy Award winner, so you don't want to just put any record with him. And he showed me a lot of love. So I came through, I had my guy, Jink, shout out to Jink. He came through, he did the track for me. I was like, come on, Cheeks, I'm ready. We built a good relationship, a good rapport and everything. I said, yo, come on, I'm ready to do the record. So I had my guy Jink come through. He did the record. I said, I want the record to be an inspirational record. So not just some, you know, club type, you know, because we all know Cheeks for the club records and, you know, the stuff like that. I wanted to do something real big and inspirational. So I got my boy, Boise, the Boyce Robinson. Shout out to Boyce Robinson. He came, jumped on the record with me, man, and like the rest is just history, man. We just came out with a beautiful masterpiece.
True that, man. You know, one of my favorite Cheeks records was Renee. I think that was one of the most overlooked songs that came out during that time.
That you know what? A lot of people really love that record. My favorite record is Lex Coupes, Beamers and Benz, and the reason being is because I can remember in 1995 watching it on Yo MTV Raps, what was it, the Basement joint, and seeing them doing that dance, and I was like, yo, anytime I hear that song, it brings me back to being in my girlfriend's living room watching that video. So that's one of my favorite records by him. You know, that whole album was dope anyway, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man. You know, I got to ask you, when I listen to you, I get a real, like, mid-90s vibe. I mean, is that, like, a heavy influence on you, that time period?
Well, you know, that's the era I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the era, in the 90s era, you know, the Mobb Deep era, the Nas era, the Wu-Tang era. I grew up in that era. My sound is that sound because that's, you know, that's my DNA. You know what I mean? If you grow up in a certain area in a certain time, it's going to be your DNA. Now, you know, I can mix it up and do different things, but my core is that type of sound. That's just what I love, you know?
Right. Now, speaking of DNA, you're from the Bronx, right?
No question.
So let me ask
Shout out
you
to
this.
Aubrey, Andrews. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, speaking of that now, being from the Bronx, do you notice that there's a certain, like, geographical attitude that's, like, attributed with solely the Bronx that you don't really see from other boroughs, or is that just something like a West Coaster like myself picks up on that's not necessarily true?
Yo, you know what? I don't believe you just asked me that question. I'm going to tell you why. Because I was just talking to somebody today, right? Shout out to Bella, my manager Bella. She on the line. Shout out to Bella. You know what I'm saying? Baby C. When you hear those giggles, that's Baby C. But it's crazy that you just asked me this question. You know why? Because today I was just talking to somebody. I'm from the Bronx, and, you know, I've been rocking with Cheeks. I've been rocking with Royal Flush. Shout out to Royal Flush. I've been dealing with a lot of Queens dudes. And I said to them today, I said, I can't remember. Oh, it was my guy. And it was my guy, Elron, my DJ, Elron. Shout out to Elron. He's from Queens, too. I said, yo, being around these guys for the last past year or so, I see why so many people in Queens that's on. Yo, everybody's like, yo, come on. Yo, come on. Yo, come on. Yo, it's just always come on. Yo, come on, let's do this. Let's do that. Yo, come on, let's do this. I love the Bronx to death. But it'd be like we being like separate. It'd be like kind of like we being competition. And if the Bronx, and this is the birthplace. You understand what I'm saying? If we had more unity, I said, no wonder it's so, like in the 90s, you think about it, man, Queens had it locked. They had Nori, they had Mobb Deep, Tragedy, Gaddafi. Like, come on, like, we could go on and on. Marley Marl, the Juice Crew, like, we could go on and on with Queens, right? With Queens rappers, you know, that was successful, you know? And I don't mean to talk much, but I'm just break it down.
When you talk about Queens, you can't forget about the most successful of them all, Run DMC.
Right, Run DMC. This is what I'm saying, but I'm just knocking out. When Run DMC came out, it was Run DMC. You understand what I'm saying? It was like nobody really crazy coming out of Queens like that. Queens had a run where you just had everybody had hit records coming out of Queens. You know what I mean? Run DMC set the, they put the, Run DMC, rest in peace, Jam Master Jay, you know what I'm saying? They the ones that planted their feet for Queens, like for real, because they was the ones that Run DMC did it for hip hop, period, because they were the first ones to cross over to get that real MTV play. When they, you know what I'm saying, when they did the Walk This Way, that's when they crossed over into a whole nother genre where you could mix rap with rock. So Run DMC is legendary on it, right?
Right.
But we're talking about the unified where each body in Queens, they put each other on. And if the Bronx, I'll tell you this right now, and it's the last statement on that. If the Bronx was to stick together tight, you would see a lot of dope MCs come out of there, legendary MCs. You would see a lot.
So what I take from what you're saying is kind of the Bronx attitude, not necessarily yourself, but, just generally, is there a little bit more, dare I say, selfish than Queens is?
I would say more competitive. You know what I mean? Because we do have crews. We have crews. I would say competitive. You know what I mean? Because if when the Bronx came out, Boogie Down Productions had the Bronx. You understand what I'm saying? When Fat Joe came out, Digging in the Crates came out, DITC, they had the Bronx. When Fat Joe came out, Fat Joe got the Bronx. When Pun came out, Pun and his crew got the Bronx. You understand what I'm saying? And it was, a little messy, but you go back to, like I said, you go back to Queens, you got Nas who's big, you got Nori who's big, these different guys that was coming out of Queens that was just so big, AZ who was big, with the Firm, so it was just so much. And then they meshed with Brooklyn because Brooklyn and Queens is right there. Period, if the boroughs united, it would be a stronger force. You know what I mean? It would definitely be stronger. And I see a little bit of it happening now,
Right. Now, when you first started working with, like you said, Royal Flush and Cheeks and all them cats from Queens, did any of your boys from around the way say, like, why are you working with those Queens guys? Why don't you keep it here in the Bronx? Nah, because I'm global. You understand what I'm saying? I'm global. The Bronx, I've done big things in the Bronx with my brothers in the Bronx. I brung artists out to the Bronx. I brung people from the coast out to the Bronx. So the love, see, right now it's different, right? It's a difference from showing love and people showing you love. You understand what I'm saying? See, when I'm in the Bronx, I'm showing love to my people. I'm showing my love. When I'm with Cheeks and Flush and them, they showing me love and I'm showing them love. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So it's a big difference than showing love and getting love, No, I hear you on that. No question about it, man. How old were you when you first figured you could, grab a mic and rhyme or write something down? Well, I was about, to keep it honest, I was about 7, 8 years old. Because I used to write, I used to write poems. I used to write poems and stuff. Now, I grew up in the era where we, the block parties. You understand what I'm saying? Where we used to see Kool Mo D and, Kool Herc and all them come out to the parks and DJ and stuff like that. I came up from that era, watching the real, core of hip hop. I'm talking about in the Bronx where the train still had spray paint on it and stuff like that when it was burnt down. You understand what I'm saying? I come from that era. So when I had moved to Long Island, shout out to Long Island too and all my peoples out there in Long Island. When I moved to Long Island, that's when I started off as a DJ and I was DJing for my brother. And, I had one turntable, a whole bunch of records and I'm scratching with it.
And then my brother says to me, yo, you know, he had a bunch of rap partners. He says, yo, why don't you rap with me? And I'm like, nah, I like being quiet behind the table. So he's like, nah, why don't you rap with me? And I said, all right, I'll rap with you. So me and my brother actually started out as a group. And then, you know, I eventually ventured off and started doing my own projects.
Right. And when you decided to, like, break away from that, did that lead to any, like, kind of, you know, hostility with your brother? Was he kind of like, why are you leaving me behind?
Well, you know, I went on a little federal vacation. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like we broke up and I went and I did my own thing. I went away for quite a while, you know, a long time. And then at that time, musically, things happened. When we first was home, we did things together so we could write about things together. But when we're in two different atmospheres and going through two different things, the feelings that you project in your music comes out differently. It's like I can't write about partying when I'm in the box. You know what I'm saying? Where he's free and actually going to the clubs. You know what I mean? I can write about being trapped inside this prison cell. You know what I mean? And we can't make a record like that.
Well, let me ask you then, when you see people like writing stuff that's just basically they're writing about it but not living it, you know, what goes through your mind when you're actually part of what they're writing about?
This is what let's say this, right? We watch movies that we love, and you know the people that's writing these movies, they're not living these lives of these movies. Music's a little different, I get it. Music's a little different, but at the end of the day, if you sitting here and you're painting a picture as a gangster, somebody's going to check you on that. The truth will be shown. If you sitting here saying that you a pimp and you got all these women and somebody's going to dig to find out if this is true. You got to deal with those consequences. So whatever a person, and be honest right now, in this day and age, being fake is the new real to so many people. You understand what I'm saying? Me, I don't think.
Absolutely.
You know, being fake is the new real. Me, go ahead, brother, I'm listening.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, definitely coming from, you know, the time period that you described a couple minutes ago, I mean, you obviously have to see a lot of what is so-called hip-hop right now is not hip-hop. You know, so, go ahead.
Even those guys that, you know, we all know who we're talking about, even those guys say that they're not hip-hop. See, you understand what I'm saying? They say we're not rappers. You understand what I'm saying? So they need to not them, but the musical gods or the musical presidents or whoever these guys are that title music need to give them a genre, because we know that's not hip-hop, but the mainstream is trying to press it on the people as hip-hop. Well, not hip-hop, rap, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what, they don't know where else to place it. So they put it with us. You understand what I'm saying? But we know that's not hip-hop. Them guys are running around saying that they're rock stars. You understand? And they're dressing and acting like rock stars. So why don't you put them with rock stars? You understand what I'm saying? But see, the thing about it is the buffoonery they don't want in their genre. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They'd rather have them wearing purses and wearing wedding dresses saying they're rappers than saying that they're rock stars. You see what I'm saying? So and the thing about me is I don't promote that. I promote what I like. I don't promote what I don't like. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the problem with the people too. They keep promoting what they don't like.
That's true. That's very true. Hey, tell me about the video, man. Where do you shoot the video at?
Well, you know what? I shot the video it was actually at a legendary park in Long Island. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gornice Park out there, Pond Grove. You know, we shot it out there. It was a legendary area. We just went there and I just wanted it to be natural. My friends coming through, hanging out, just, you know, like a good time. Just, you know, it was a blazing hot day. You know what I'm saying? It was real burning up out there, but we all had a good time.
Yeah, you know, when I watched it, I kind of got the vibe because, you know, as you said, you were just all hanging out in the park. It almost reminded me of like the Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince Summertime video.
Yeah, you know what? I would have loved to have the queue up and everything out there. But you know, sometimes when you're on the come up, people support you after you're supported. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the thing with, you know, like your peers and your friends and everybody around you. You can't look for them for support. You just gotta, the people who gravitate and who support you and rock with you, you just rock with them. The friends that you want to support, don't worry about that. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's always invited out to all my events and everything that I got going on. And when I bring rappers out, I like to bring rappers that like to talk to the people, not just sit up in VIP and chill. They go out there and they hang with the people. They talk to them, they take pictures, they chill. These are regular guys. So I like to be around, you know, guys like that. You know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt. Let me ask you this: the name Scrooge. You know, a lot of times, I mean, by definition, Scrooge isn't necessarily a positive image. Where do you come up with that name?
Well, Scrooge is not a negative image. If you look up Scrooge in the Bible, it means miser. You know what I mean? That's a person who holds money. That's what a Scrooge is. See what I'm saying? The projection of the Scrooge is of what people project from the Christmas and how he was evil to people and how he was stingy with his money. That's all a Scrooge is. Scrooge is a miser. He doesn't go around hurting people, doesn't go around robbing people, but he just ain't giving you his. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
yeah, if you look at definition, you know what I'm saying?
So you're taking it more from the biblical sense of the word as opposed to the social sense of the word.
Well, yeah, the Webster Dictionary definition. But honestly, somebody gave me that name when I was like in the 5th grade or something like that because I was being mean. And he was like, I was being rough and being mean. He's like, oh, your name should be Scrooge. And I was like, hey, I like that. And then, you know, I kept it, you know what I mean? But me, and anybody will tell you I'm far from a stingy person with the people that I love. You know what I mean? The people that I'm around and the people I love, they could get whatever they want from me. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm very picky about who I love because I know that my love is unconditional and I give you just, you know, about anything you ask from me. You know what I mean? If I'm able to give it to you, I'll give it to you.
Right. As an independent artist, you know, being an indie artist, what's been your biggest obstacle career-wise so far?
My biggest obstacle is, well, my biggest obstacle was getting the right people around me. But now I do. Like I told you, I got Baby C with me. We got Ange, we got Leo, we got Kels, we got Midnight Grandma. We got like a lot of great people around us. We got Elena, who's wonderful with us, like takes care so much for us. She's like the best. You know what I'm saying? If I'm forgetting anybody, chime in, Baby C, because you know my brain cells. But Nasty Nest, High Children, you know what I mean? Tim's, you know what I'm saying? And like we always say, we got to shout out the DJs. You know what I'm saying? But my biggest obstacle was getting a great team around me, and I feel like I have the best team around me now. You know what I mean? And that's always the hardest part as being an independent or a signed artist is having people that you can trust, you know what I mean, to actually work the project, to even curse you out when you're doing something wrong and let you know that you need to get right. You know what I'm saying? You have to trust those people. You know what I mean? Even you have to, you would have to trust them to curse you out. Like, yo, what are you doing? And you sit there and you go, yo, you know what? They're right. You know what I'm saying? And then you change that. So,
well, you know what, man, you know, if there's anyone that's a professional at cursing people out, you got the right person with you. Because she knows how to curse people out.
Oh, I know. You know what's funny? Because, like, you'll hear the little squeaky voice and think it's like, oh, wait, I can get over. Hold on. And then the little chihuahua comes out like, and I sit there and be like, go ahead, bite the ankles, go ahead.
No, you know, I mean, we should be on the phone for about 5 or 6 hours just talking about that topic in particular, but we don't have time for all that. Hey, tell me about the next project. Tell me about the efforts you're talking about, because that's what we're about to get into. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Right now, shout out to Jink. He produced that joint too. He came to me. He was like, yo, I got a beat that I think you would sound dope on. And I was like, all right, well, send the track over. And, the track just was like, yo, what did you talk about? And I was like, yeah, you know what? Word. Because it was just like a whole bunch of shit that people were just saying. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, just doing. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I always try to sit and understand people. And when I can't understand you, I'll be like, yo, hold on. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And still you can't explain to me what exactly that you mean. So I just made a record out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely know a lot of people that don't know how to express themselves. I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying to me.
They don't even understand what they're saying to you. Trust me.
Exactly.
Trust me. I've seen it a billion times, brother. Trust me.
Exactly. Hey, before I let you go, man, and we get into the efforts you're talking about, how can people catch up with you online? Give out your social media contacts.
All right, listen. Everybody out there, you want to get up with Scrooge Owens, you can catch me. Scrooge Owens everything. Scrooge Owens Facebook. Scrooge Owens Official, that's my IG. I'm trying to get my Snapchat up. So my Scrooge Owens on my Snapchat. I think it's Scrooge Owens 167. So y'all can follow me on Snapchat. Y'all start following me. I'll use it more. You know what I'm saying? SoundCloud, YouTube. Everybody hit the YouTube. On my YouTube, I got plenty of videos for y'all to see. About 30, 40 videos, something like that, for y'all to go check out on YouTube. So Scrooge Owens YouTube. You can go to YouTube and check me out. Also, my manager, Bella, I want her to give out her credentials and her number and everything in an email. So if y'all want to book me for features or anything, y'all can holler at her. Everything goes through Bella.
The email is babyc545@gmail.com. My IG is babybrooklync because I now live out in Brooklyn. And my Facebook, Dallas C. Madison, a.k.a. Baby C.
Before we do that, man, we want to thank you for having us on the show. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate that. We appreciate you letting us use your platform to put ourselves out there and introduce us to your audience, man. So thank you, and shout out to you for that, man. I appreciate that.
Well, that's what we do, man. That's what we do. So let's jump into everything we're talking about, and we'll be right back.
What up? This your boy Scrooge Owens, Mean Mugger Entertainment. This the Wednesday Rec with DJ Kazzeo on KHDC. Mugger, let's get it. I'm like Caster, cushion in my Dutch, I'm like Caster. You're in my now you mad at her. Let it go, bro, don't dive in his hole. Montana money, yeah, we keep it in trash bags. Put stuffing grams in the corner of glad bags. You haven't got a ghetto dish, I pray it got a weed spot. I'm wishing I could free on my nigga. That the D's knock for the rich nigga who falls in love. That's way hold up. To use your wifey, to how you just to come up. If we say we coming for you, then we mean those words. Knock, knock, we mask up like a singing out of purse. I'm trying to live, but I swear to God, y'all gon' make me body something. Shorty say my voice get her wet, then let me dive in something. Listen close, I hate repeating my words. Mean Mugger, we this ish, homie, off what you heard. We getting money every day. No skins you talking about. We grinding every day. No skins you talking about. We shining every day. No skins you talking about. No skins you talking about. No skins you talking about. Money every day. No skins you talking about. We grinding every day. No skins you talking about. We shining every day. No skins you talking about. No skins you talking about. No skins you talking about. I'm doing that bit, I swore to God I would change. Now I'm back doing the same. This swerving in and out of lanes. Jewels hanging with my neck and armrest. Off the stash spot, I'd rather keep mine with an armrest. Nah, I ain't got a perk of the worker. Niggas mad that I got a I'm awful loud and rum chatter. King, I'm a god, I'm a nigga, fall down daughter. Loser, what's a shot nigga into a shooter? For me and Max in the state pit, to wax in the vape pen in the club, coolin' king, bitch, my nigga ain't ruling. Homie, you ain't a boss if your veins ain't living. And you ain't smoking good unless you got 2 grams in it. Sipping on that ball, it got me speeding. Paranoid, you move funny, I start reaching. Homie, don't get shot for your hating ways. But why y'all mad? We in the hood getting paid. Hey. No skins you talking about. about? Grinding every day. What the fuck is you talking about? Shining every day. What the fuck is you talking about? What the fuck is you talking about? What the fuck is you talking about?